I am coming out to the garden. Decided to show you guys what's not happening. Nothing happening in this green stalk here. There are some strawberries in some of them. I covered them up with straw. I moved that box and put it over there and then decided to move it back over here. The chickens have dug through my half whiskey barrel many times. These boxes are still, I put chicken manure and covered it with straw and covered it with pallets. I did that because I didn't want the chickens getting into it. Same over here, although I recently moved this top pallet because looky here. Can you see? This is my garlic coming up. I put these in, I'm not sure, either October or November. I don't know if you got a good look at that. And then over here, same thing. I removed the pallet because these were coming up. Actually, I removed the pallet because it was getting warmer. The weather was, and I was surprised by these garlics. This is the this is a potting table my hubby made for me. I asked him to make one. I started staining it, and then we brought it in here into the garden, and it's on these two pallets. I'm going to work on it some more. This is a setup that I had that worked very well. It's 4 straw bales. I had stuff growing in the straw bales and inside the straw bales. This is the going on the 3rd year, and the straw bales, at least for me, are only good for 2 years. So I'm getting rid of all of this. This is just I had potatoes over there and sunflowers, and it was a dip. Lower than the rest of the garden, so I added some soil and some dried leaves and some straw to raise it up, but it just sank and it seems like it's still a dip. So I'm going to see if the hubby can help me with that to level it out a little bit better. All these bales were all along here, and this looks like a disaster, but this is finally, we are extending the garden out. See where that T-post is? So we're going 6 feet wider, and we're doing that all along here. And so yesterday we took the T-posts out a few days before we had to dig up the soil and move it away from the fence. Dig up the chicken wire that was there to keep predators from coming in, or to keep rabbits, really is our main concern, from coming in the garden. And then yesterday we pulled out the T-post and started adding a couple. This is just all laid out here. The mister is going to try and get it all done by Wednesday, he thinks. That's fast, I think, if he can. So let's come over here. I am quite nervous because I got my potatoes in last week and I don't have a place set for them because I want to put them across here inside the fence, and we have to get the fence set up before I can do that. And then in these two beds, I decided, it's not what I originally wanted, but I decided to put my onions in here. Last year, I had a great success with onions. It was my first time, and I had this bed 4x4, and that bed 4x4 is where I had my onions. I got twice as many onions this year, so this whole thing, which is 2 4x4s together, so 4x8, and then, hey girly girls, and then this is a 4x8 bed. I'm going to put onions in here too. Not what I wanted, as I mentioned, but I don't have a lot of options right now. I only have this bed that's under the potting table and that bed over there, 4x4s, and that's not enough. And we are putting in new beds, so we're gonna have 4x4 beds, 4x8 beds going this way and out as soon as we can get the fencing part done and this whole area cleaned up. But the onions came 2 days ago and I've got to get them in, so that's what I'm doing. Yesterday I found 2 more of these boxes. I've showed you guys this one before, I think in a reel, and I found these 50% off at Walmart, and that was pretty exciting. So I made the holes and got the soil in and put some seeds in. So there's nothing happening here right now, but it's working exactly as it should. And in here I have peppers. I have Sugar Rush Peach, I have Habanero Caribbean Orange, I have Cayenne, and I have a large red cherry pepper from M.I. Gardner. That's what I have in here. And this little clamp on this side was broken. That's why I have that piece of wood there. And then in this one, see all the condensation? This is exactly what we want in these little greenhouses. So in here I have rosemary, dill, butterfly pea, blue queen, and butterfly pea. Can't see that sign, but I know it's lavender queen. And those are vining flowers that are good. They're edible and they supposedly make a great tea. So I'm excited about that. All of these buckets, I decided that most of them are going to be carrots grown in succession. So I'm going to do some succession gardening. And this corner here, there's the first T-post over there, 6 feet out from this one. This corner is eventually going to be a greenhouse for me. I have so many projects and the mister can't do them all, so we put that off till fall. So we won't have a greenhouse. We will have a greenhouse hopefully for the winter and then next spring, but not for this year. So I ordered a really inexpensive greenhouse from Walmart, and I can't wait to show you guys and to set it up in this corner, just to see how it works and do a review of it with you to see if it's something that you can spend your money on. I think it'll work okay for what I want. We're just gonna have to really make sure that it doesn't fly away because we have crazy winds here up on this hill. But I'll show you how we do all of that. Okay, so I came out here really to get some eggs and to see what's going on with this bale. My husband helped me put this bale in here yesterday. I thought they would entertain them and he agreed, so we put it in here. They're kind of breaking it down, which is what we expected. Let's give them something to do. So let's go in, see what we have egg-wise. There's Duchess is in her dust bath, and so is Cassia. I just put this here. I figured they could use it for whatever they want, and dust bathing is what they like to do in there. It used to be the cover, it used to be, it didn't have a top like that. We used to put that piece of wood on top, and the purpose of this was we had a kennel in there, a dog kennel, and we used it as the intermediary home for whoever were the young chickens at the time, as a way of keeping them safe but introducing them to the flock. This year we're doing something a little bit different. So we don't have use of the kennel anymore, and so we just made this into a little permanent structure, put a roof on it. It's their little clubhouse and it's their spa because that's where they dust bathe apparently. Okay, let me see what we have egg-wise today. My girls are super friendly for the most part. This little one, she's not unfriendly. She just doesn't like me to pick her up. And her buddy over here, they're the same breed. Doesn't like to be picked up. Not yet. Not yet, anyway. We'll see. Luna here never liked to be picked up, even after she started laying eggs. I mean, it was a battle. But she was sick a couple of months ago, a month and a half ago, and I had to separate her and deal with her more than the others. And after that, she just became very friendly, and now I can pick her up, and I have no problem. It's a nice day today, so my allergies are bothering me a little, but I'm gonna see what I can do out here. I'm gonna separate my onions. I'll show you guys that, and see if I can start putting some of them out. These girls are going to town here. So let's see, let me show you our eggs. The first eggs of the day. These aren't all of them, but I got a really dark, hold on. Try not to break these. Look at that one. I love those little freckles on it. We're gonna have white or cream eggs here in the summer because two of the chickens that I wasn't looking for, that I got chick-wise, they are California whites, and they're the most prolific laying chickens, so I'm glad I found them. And they lay light-colored eggs, white or cream. I'm not sure. I have to research it again. Hey, Luna. Here's Luna. Let's see if she'll let me pick her up, or at least take her little stance. See that? Yep. She's okay with it now. Never used to be. Always ran. Right, Luna? Hmm? You always ran from me. So we are back inside, and I am gonna look over these onions. I opened the box, and I should have opened the box as soon as I got it, but I'm just gonna read this onion planting guide. This is from dixondalefarms. These are the people I got my onions from last year. It was a great success. So it says, immediately remove the plants from the box. I didn't do that. Keep them in a well-ventilated, cool location until you are able to plant. Do not put them in soil, water, or a refrigerator. I think putting them in water is probably something that's kind of counterintuitive to not do that, because you kind of want to keep them moist, so you might think of doing that, or even refrigerating. It says do not do that. While the plants may appear dry, don't be alarmed. They're simply dormant. Don't worry if the roots and tips begin to dry out. The onions live on the bulb for approximately 3 weeks. So there's a lot of information in here about how to prepare your soil, etc. I have to say that I didn't follow theirs to a T. I went by another YouTuber's suggestions as far as how close to plant and how to plant, and that's M.I. Gardner. he is growing his onions in a situation more like what I'm growing my onions, in raised beds, in boxes, as opposed to the instructions from here is probably for farms and people growing in rows. So I take it with a grain of salt as far as spacing, etc. So what did I get? It says here, let's see, I got 4 bunches. I got one of candy, is one of the onion bunches that I got, and the other is red Creole, and then I got 2 of the one, let's see, 1015Y Texas Super Sweet. I got 2 bunches of those, and I think it's because those are long-term storage, and I wanted to have onions that I could store long-term. So let me show you what I have here and what they look like. These are the candy. See how dried out they look? They don't look like much of anything, but this is kind of how they looked the last time too. And so you'll be surprised that here before long I'm gonna have onions. They were super easy to grow. I had no experience before that with onions, but it worked out just fine. Here is the red Creole, and I'm trying to remember. I think you get 50 to 70 onions per bundle, per bunch. And so I am thinking that I have anywhere from 200 to 300 onions. That's the possibility for onions. This is the Texas Super Sweet. And this is the other Texas Super Sweet. So these I'm going to put together in an 8-foot bed, and then I'm going to put these in a 4-foot bed and these in a 4-foot bed. Somehow I have a bad feeling about whether they're all going to fit. And did I only use 8 feet last year? I can't remember now. I have to go back and look at some old videos, but I'm pretty sure that's what I did. It just looks like a lot right now. So let's go outside and get some of these in the ground as much as we can before the day changes from 1 hour to the next. Maybe it's the same in your area. The weather changes. We don't get rain here hardly, and all of a sudden this week we've just gotten rain off and on. It would be good to have rain after I get these in the ground. So let's go do that. Progress. Who doesn't love progress? It took some time. There were challenges, but we got it done. We expanded the garden 6 feet. See, from where I'm standing to the end is 48 or 50 feet. I'm not sure. We need to measure it to be accurate, but we're making progress and I'm excited about it. Some other progress that happened today was that I planted some onions. You probably can't see them. Here's a couple right here. This bed has 72 and this bed has 72, so 144 onions I planted this morning. The skies parted, the rain stopped, it got sunny, it was no longer cold. It was chilly. I got bundled up. I probably look ridiculous. Probably had 4 layers on, but I got out here and I hurriedly threw some garden lime in here, mixed it in, got the onions in, put the straw on top, and I felt accomplished.